Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, I'm down at Andy Sills Motorcycles again. Lovely day. And today I'm going to be taking out the Zontes ZT U1 125cc little adventure bike crossover thing. Very nice looking. You know, I've done reviews on the GKs and the Zontes from here before. Trying to remember which one, but this is the 125, and many people have requested I do the 125. We will take a closer look at this bike later in the video, but for now, I just want to get out of the city onto some little country roads and have a bit of fun. Okay, instant impressions. I am 6'4", so I'm quite a big chap, and I've noticed that I don't fully fit on this bike because I'm right up against like the pillion seat bump, and my knees are kind of touching the ends of the tanks here, but I mean, I fit, it's comfortable, but it does feel like I couldn't be any taller. So yeah, even though it's a little bit small, it's actually very comfortable. Nice upright seating position. The bars feel quite a lot closer than I thought they'd feel. There is very few vibrations to the engine, that feels very smooth. Clutch is very light, gearbox is very easy to shift. It's all very light feeling actually. My plan is to get out of Portsmouth, get onto the dual carriageway, see what this can do at 70, see how comfortable it is. Get in some little country roads, have a little bit of fun, and then get back, and that'll be that. But we will know a lot more about this bike by that point. We'll also take a closer look at it somewhere along the way, because it's got a lot of bells and whistles for a 125. With this light clutch and the easy throttle, it's very easy in town. I'll say that, you know, and it's very comfortable at much slower speeds, so you can just crawl along. I mean, I was in second there. You can sort of crawl along at just a few miles an hour, and it's perfectly happy. Right, we're actually going to get out of this city. It leans a lot better than I was expecting it to. It's got these big, like, semi-off-road knobble tyres on it, but actually, because it's a rounded surface, you don't really feel that it's got knobbles on it. It'll be interesting to see what it's like on the motorway, see if you can feel or hear any sort of zing from the knobbles. Because they're quite chunky, but yeah, you sort of still maintain that road profile. Finally, we're going to get onto some slightly faster roads where we can open this up a bit and see how it is. And of course, that's the thing about 125s. You get to open them way up, go through all the gears, have loads of fun, and not really break the speed limit too much. Or at all, depending on where you do it, obviously. National speed limit roads, 125s are absolutely amazing. Go! That's 50. Well, the bike's officially warmed up, so let's see how quickly we can actually get to 50. Go! 20. 30. 45. 50. Okay, 6th gear, 64, 65, running out of space. And this, as I've always said, is one of the realities of the roads. A 125 is going to do the speed you need it to do because you won't be able to get to 70 if you wanted to. But we can try. 62, 63, 64. 65, 66, 67. There's a bit of a downhill here, it's helping a little bit. 68. Do it. 69! Oh, no, I'm catching up now. This truck is doing the 69. As I do keep in mind also, I am 6'4". I'm like a barn door on the top of this thing. So yeah, I only got to 69 miles an hour there. It would have got to 70, but I'm going to say that the happy cruising speed of this bike is about 65, 65, somewhere around there, which is pretty much in line with a lot of 125s. Second gear, in fact third gear, pulling up this hill. One thing I have noticed is the rake of the front forks is quite far out, so it's got a strong wanting to hold dead ahead feel, and when you sort of, you know, touch on the bars, you really feel like the whole bike's just turning, like leaning rather than it actually like turning. It's nicely set up. I don't know how it's going to feel, you know, into some corners and stuff, we'll find that out, but just riding along, it just makes everything very light. That's the thing I'll say about this bike. Its controls and its use is light. Just gently touch the shifter and it goes down. Easy to hold the clutch in. No problems balancing this thing. I failed. I had to put a foot down. If you're new to my channel, I rode a 125 for 7 years. I started my channel on 125. I grew my channel quite big while still on a 125. And I love them. I know the limitations. I understand why people want to move on. But after a while, once you've moved on, and the roads get the way they are now, you start looking at 125s again going, that's a proper lot of fun. Which is great, because it means when you first get into bikes, you get a properly fun little bike to experience and learn on and be enthusiastic about, and then move on to the thing you want to do later. Or stay on the 125 if it suits all your needs, which, you know, on the island, other than going long distance for me, and you could do this in a 125, but I'd rather use a large bike for that because I have the license. This is great. Let's check out that rear brake ABS. It's the type. Okay, so let's go over the controls. Clutch lever, very nice. Adjustable, this little adjuster here. Pass light, high beam, low beam, hazard lights. And these are illuminated around the outside of them. You may not be able to see it now, but they glow like red. Indicators, horn. On this side you've got start, stop, eco button. Now, that's supposed to make the bike more... Wait, that was on. Let's turn that off. It's supposed to make the bike more economical. Whether it actually does or not is something I can't test in this video. Lights on or off? I don't know if that actually does turn them on. But I don't imagine it actually turns it off because you have to have your lights on in the UK. And start button. Then, the extra special buttons. Because this is keyless, I know a lot of people don't like keyless systems, but it is what it is. In my pocket, I have this 9-volt battery, that's not it. I have this, which is the key for this bike. Normally it can be kept on like a little like Fitbit wristband, or you can just keep it in your pocket. It's keyless, it is what it is. So as you can see, that's now off, and it's all locked up with the steering lock. Now if we want to get back on the ride, we just walk back up to the bike with the keyless key in our pocket, press this button, press this button, there you go. You hear a click, and it all comes on. You've still got the kill switch, but the one you actually turn it on and off with is that one there. The next one, fuel. It's an automatic opener for your fuel cap, and your fuel is in here. Let's have a look. I don't like that idea, because it's obviously supposed to spin, but it doesn't really spin very well. But okay, well, there you go. There's your filler. And that's, oh, okay, if you hold it, it's a lot better, but I do not like that little thing. But it does stop you losing it, but I'd have it off in a minute. Never lost one of my caps before. And then the last button is seat. And that, my God, everything comes off with one button press. And there's under your seat. Right, so that. Okay, so the rider's seat just sits in and goes in like that. Then the pillion seat comes in, and like pillion seat comes in. Nope. Pillion seat comes in. There we go. And it locks it all in place. I have to say, it's remarkably secure considering that's all it's being held in by. It's a good little bit of design. Looks-wise, it's like a naked crossover adventure. As I say, it's got the semi-off-road tyres. You've got a reasonable amount of suspension travel in the front. Can't really see the rear from here, but, you know, I can't actually tell how much travel's on the rear because it's all hidden up under the seat there. But you've got crash bars on it. These end pieces, which are those metal. Yeah, they are metal. I can't tell if these are like a type of plastic or a metal. They feel metal, but they don't feel cold enough for that. But they're hard as hell. Ow. But you've got the protection if you drop it. You've got the big crash bars, so you can attach extra lights on if you wanted to. Your indicators are here. I mean, I guess this is supposed to make them look like they're protected a bit, but I mean, it is what it is. Got some brush guards. These would be perfectly good at stopping the bushes and smacking into your hand. So this really is a good little green laning machine. It's a shame I don't have the opportunity to take it green laning today. Maybe I should do that at some point. Sorry, I just realised I didn't mention the display. You've got your revs go around here. temperature's here, time's here, odometer's here, speed's here, and your fuel gauge is there, and your gear position is there. That's all you really need to know, isn't it? Let's go. I mean, would this class as off-roading? It's like semi-off-roading, right? Oh. Did that okay. It was pretty steep, didn't bottom out or anything, so it's got some ground clearance on it. Right, visor down because the flies are going to be back. Well, this is like hill descent. Let's keep it a nice steady 35. What am I in fourth? Just letting it roll in fourth. It is very smooth. That's one of the things that stands out about this bike. It's very, it runs and it feels like the smoothness of it and the way it just works. It feels more like a larger CC bike's fuel injection system rather than, you know, because I'm used to the more early 125 fuel injection systems. They're a little bit clunky, a little bit on and off, not very progressive, and just didn't feel as tuned or as sophisticated. This feels great. I have nothing to complain about the way that the throttle comes on this. Now, as I say, they claim this to have 10.8 kilowatts, which is very close to the maximum you're allowed on a CBT. And of course, this is something that people would ride in CBTs or an A1 or even their full A if they want a 125. But I will say again, I'm very surprised that it only does about, you know, just about 70. Because days of old, when I had my first 125, that thing definitely didn't have anywhere near like the maximum of a CBT. However, it would do 75 mile an hour. And that is not just from its speedo, that's from other people riding next to me. They were like, yeah, it does do that. Admittedly, I used to run that thing absolutely ragged, and it was carved. Oh my god. Oh, you're going to enjoy this, mate. Hold on, let me get over here. Oh, no, I don't want to cover this bike in mud. Andy was going to kill me. Who knows how deep that is? There we go. Can I attract the cows to say hello? Will you come and say hello? Do you remember me? I am very well aware of the fact that the cows that I come and see here and have been doing for many years are not the same cows. Oh, no. They're looking at me, but they're not going to come and say hi. Fine, I'll come to you. There you are. Oh. What do you think? Zontes? 125 semi-adventure bike? Good on a CBT? What are we thinking? 3.6? On the road, you think good? 3.6 on the road. They're liking it. They're liking it. Oh, look, they're fighting to get a view. Anyway, see you later, cows. Have a nice time. Bye-bye. I like the brown one. It's cute. I like all of them. They're cute. This has got independent ABS, no linked brakes here, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, we've got a straight bit of road, no one behind us. 30 miles an hour. Jeez! It's got better brakes than my DR! Let's try that again. Try using both. Alright. This has got good brakes! Yeah, it's interesting. I totally forgot about what I was going to check earlier on. The fact that these tyres are, you know, semi-off-road, but they feel like they've got the profile of a normal road tyre, and they feel like they've got the same sort of grip. They feel great, actually. Something like this would maybe be a good option on my DR. Yeah, then again, I love going off-road with road tyres. It's a special kind of fun. I have to say, I am very, very impressed with the Zontes bikes. The build quality is great. It's got lots of bits and pieces on it you'd want. The engine feels good. Okay, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but no 125 is these days. Modern types. Some of the older ones are quite quick. 3,600 quid, so it's a good price. They've even got some finance package coming out soon to do with them or something. I can't remember exactly. I don't really deal with finance. But if you need to use it, I guess it's there. That's a big pothole. Okay, the gears. You do actually have to. You have to go down quite a few gears before the engine braking becomes much more effective. Drop a gear, disappear. It's like you're in your own TT at 35 mile an hour. I have to say, what a sweet little engine. My God. There's a thing nowadays, you never know, is there going to be like mud, is there going to be some stones, is there going to be a horse, is there going to be a tractor, or is there going to be a small representation of the Grand Canyon, otherwise known as a goddamn pothole. I will also note that when I left I had half a tank of fuel, and I still have half a tank of fuel. That is something I really miss than 125 days. The cheapness, the frugalness of a 125. They just sip fuel, just a little every now and then, and they're good. You get something with a bit more CC and it's just guzzling pints like a darts player in the 90s. Go! Now we're going to be going uphill. It is a 60. Are we going to get to 60? We have in 5th. Here's 6th. The engine's not getting too hot. It's maintaining its temperature nicely. This is just good. You know, this is having to try up in its revs, but the engine's just like, I'm good, man. I'm good. I can do this all day. Okay, this is doing 57, 56 up a reasonably steep hill. This is Portsdown Hill, and it has just pulled itself up there at close to 60. 5th, 6th gear, had to play a little bit there and now, but it's good. This is a solid little bike. I'm trying to think of anything I want to complain about. Now, because I give you unbiased reviews, I just give you what my thoughts of the bike are, good and bad. I'm trying to think some bad things, and right now I'm having problems because it's not very expensive, and it looks like this, and it's nicely built, and it does everything you want it to, and the brakes are absolutely great. I don't really like the keyless system, but then I don't really like any keyless system. But, I mean, that's like about it. I should say here, because people say, well, what's the longevity of these bikes like? Andy is an independent seller, right? So when he buys a bike, he buys that bike at a cost price. He then sells that bike onto you, and he doesn't make a huge amount of money. Now, if he has to keep fixing stuff on it because it keeps breaking again and again and again, his profit gets chipped away at each time that happens, or entirely annihilated to the point he actually lost money selling you the bike and keeping it good for you. Which is why he picks and chooses not only the brands that he sells, but the models of bike that he sells, because certain models are known for not being the best. When it comes to Zontes, he's got nothing but good things to say. He's like, they don't cause me any trouble. I sell the bikes, people are happy with them, and they don't come back because they don't go wrong. And people did say this to me in the past, they're like, you really should check them out because they've really moved on and they've become a lot more, you know, Well, I mean, it's hard to say why one of the big four is better than this bike. Okay, yeah, it's made by one of the big four, but the prices are a lot higher. And this, it does good. And this is even coming in quite cheap compared to some of the other 125s, which are from, you know, sort of Chinese descent. There's some of those bikes are getting a little bit too expensive, and this at 3.6 feels a bit like it's fair. It's very fair. I'm even forgetting how small this bike is now, because yeah, I do feel like I'm really taking up a lot of the bike, but I am comfy. Like, I mean, I kind of wish for just an extra inch from that second seat. I could deal with this on a daily basis. It's also got tubeless spoked wheels on a 125 for 3 and a bit grand. Tubeless spoked wheels. It's so impressive. Like, as I say, for the build quality, for all these parts you see on this bike, you'd think it would be more. Oh, suspension, I haven't actually talked about that really. Basically because it's fine. Nice, comfy, solid feeling suspension, not too squidgy, not rock hard, just good. It's exactly what suspension should be. You shouldn't notice it. If you don't think about it, it's doing its job and you don't have to think about it. If you suddenly start thinking about suspension, well, it's probably because something's not right with it. I'd also like it to be a little bit louder, but, you know, Euro 5 for you. They've absolutely annihilated exhausts. Oh, another thing I haven't mentioned is the weight of this bike. I believe it's 150 kilos in running order. It's very well balanced. You don't feel, you know, 150 kilos for a 125 is a little chonky, but you don't feel it. So there you go, there's my first ride review of the Zontes ZT125 U1. Absolutely great bike. Very little to complain about it. I like the colour of the paint, this like gunmetal grey. I love this fluoro yellow green. It's more yellow than green. Oh no, actually that's more green than yellow, maybe, I don't know. God, it's filthy. Andy's gonna kill me. Sorry, Andy. Buy one of these from Andy and then he won't be mad at me for getting it covered in mud. So there you go, as I say, huge thanks to Andy Silverstone, Portsmouth, Southsea. Come down, check him out, have a look at what he's got. He sells GK stuff, and you got the Zontes stuff, and he's got second-hand stuff, and from all sorts of different brands and scooters, and what else got? Herald, AJS, all sorts. There we go. To the next one. Bye bye.